Welcome back to another Turf Lab video. Fall is the absolute best time to bring a lawn back to life. And today I'm going to show you my complete overseeding routine step by step as we go. We're going to start by mowing things down with, of course, the Toro. Then I'm going to core aerate with this stinger. We're going to add a little topsoil to a couple thin spots. And then, of course, we're going to spread our GCI seed at a certain rate to make sure that it's the overseeding rate. And then we're going to put down some starter fertilizer, and then we're going to top it all off with some Tenacity to keep weeds from taking over while we're waiting for our germination. So if you've ever wanted to thicken up your lawn and get it ready for next spring, this is the process I follow every year. So let's get started. So before we jump into our aerating and seeding, step one is to mow, and mow the correct way. So what I always do is very simple, and keep it simple is always my motto. So I mow my lawn just like I normally would, but I drop it down one notch lower than what my normal mow is. You usually want to bag your clippings. Again, all personal preference. I just don't bag, but I always drop it down one notch lower. So there's no specific height requirement. You just want to make sure that the grass is a little bit shorter so that your seed can fall into those core aeration holes when we do get to that step. So doing this is going to open up the canopy so the seed can actually hit the soil instead of getting stuck in grass. All right, just finished locked in my mowing, dropped it down one notch, got that all done, did an edge just to make it look a little nicer. Now I'm running my sprinklers because this will help the aerator dig down deeper to get better cores. So running my sprinklers and just marking them with these flags. Let's keep going. The secret to aerating is always making multiple passes with the aerator in different directions. So go north to south and then come back and go east to west. The more holes, the better seed to soil contact and root growth you'll get this fall. All right, so we finished mowing, we finished aerating. Now it's time to overseed. So my seed, according to GCI Turf, says for overseeding into an existing, I guess, decent lawn to do 8 pounds per thousand. So I got my handy dandy food scale. I'm gonna measure out 16 pounds, 8 pounds per thousand for the front. And then I'll start measuring out for the back. And then that's how I'm gonna divide it up. And of course, when I spread seed, I always cut my rate on my spreader in half, and I go north to south, another pass east to west, just like I do when I'm aerating and spreading fertilizer. So come along. All right, just got our seed down, completely done now with the mowing, the aeration, the seeding, and so now it's time for starter fertilizer. So, of course, I love my Let's Go starter fertilizer. I was very happy to be able to get a bag of this. Uh, so shout out to Let's Go, and let's get going on this. All right, so got the fertilizer down. Now it's time to get our mesotriene down, our tenacity, to prevent the weeds and keep everything at bay while our seeds are just germinating and getting going, since we can't spray anything else. So we're going to do this at 4 mLs per thousand. And we are going to mix that with some non-ionic surfactant. So we'll do 4 mLs of this and 10 mLs of surfactant per 1,000 square feet. So we're going to get that mixed up and get this down. We're just cruising right along. All right, so now we are on to topsoil. This, I just like to use my peat moss spreader, put it in, all my topsoil in there and just kind of roll it around. I don't do my whole lawn. I just target any bare areas where it looks like I can just see the seed open, just so at least there'll be a nice little layer covering it. So I'm going to load this up and start spreading. All right, so I did change clothes because I just got back from dinner, because all of this is a massive undertaking. So I do not expect everyone to be able to do all of these things in one day, but I just really wanted to create a nice guide for somebody to be able to complete this process on their own. And so I did just finish doing topsoil. And then now that I got the topsoil in all of my bare areas, I am going to go through and just sprinkle a little bit more seed by hand on there. And then I'm just going to roll over it just to make sure that the seed is embedded really well. Because those bare areas, even though there is some aeration holes, I would like tons of germination throughout there, not just what catches in the holes or happens to stay on the surface. So I'm going to do that just to up my chances, make sure I get lots of germination from seed, because seed is not cheap. And I do use the GCI turf. You know, I feel like it's a very high quality seed, so I do not want to waste any of it, even though it is very reasonably priced. If you have not checked out GCI turf for seed, I definitely recommend doing so. So I'm just going to take you guys back and just kind of show you what the lawn is looking like after we've completed all of these things today. So come with. All right, so getting down low here, very hard to see on camera, but there's lots of holes because, of course, we did do our aeration north-south, east-west, and then especially in a lot of my bare areas, I just went over it a couple more times just to make sure that we got as much germination and as much compaction removed from having the aerator, since we did rent it, and I do not want to waste the time with it. And these were some of the areas where it was mostly just dead from Bermuda that had gone in there. And then if you've been coming along, you saw that we did fuselage. So the fuselage has done a lot of work on the Bermuda. So these spots where I had a lot of Bermuda, it smoked them off pretty good. And so I wanted to make sure I got those areas, went over it with, again, just a light layer of topsoil. And then I'm just going to hand do some seed here just to make sure that there's enough seed in there. Because again, we don't want to waste this. We want to get as much germination as we can, especially while we're in these great temperature windows. So overall backyard, just so we can kind of track here, and we'll see it when we come back in about a week, just to see where we're at. All right, so I am all finished for the night. It is starting to get dark, but we did a lot today. Just to recap, we mowed, we aerated, we overseeded, we sprayed our Tenacity, and then we went through with topsoil and really just got some topsoil over all of our bare areas just to make sure that our seed is going to be successful. I appreciate you joining me. If you stayed tuned the whole video, I hope you learned a lot. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. If you're looking for any of the products, they should be available in links below. I'm trying to get better with affiliate links. So please check out those items if you're going to order them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.